The movie Liar Liar is about a lawyer who does whatever he can to get himself promoted. This includes, obviously, lying, cheating, being deceitful, sleeping with his boss, and, which is probably the most egregious offense, neglecting his only son.
I'm an inconsiderate brat!
The 1997 classic stars none other than Jim Carrey. And in case you were wondering, the movie grossed a little over $300 million during its run in the box office. We're not exactly sure how much the budget was for this film, but it did pretty good for that time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Movie Mistakes. And today, as you probably already guessed it, we're going to show you a few of the mistakes that we found in Liar Liar. And I would, as usual, give out our spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen Liar Liar by now, and here it is 21 years later, yeah. And if you have to ask, that is actually Fletcher's son, the lawyer in the movie. Max's mom and dad have split up and she is throwing him a birthday party, which dad once again cannot attend.
Listen, I'm really sorry, but I just can't make it. The boss is, really riding me.
As she makes an attempt to console him, you'll notice that the hairs are behind her ears, not draped down on the side of her face. But as the camera angle switches, we can now see that there is a lock of hair down her right side of her face. And I know what you're gonna say, oh, you know what, maybe it just came from behind her ear. Yeah, but that wouldn't explain the fact when the camera angle switches again, here it is that there is no lock of hair on the side of her face. At this point in the movie, Max has made a wish on his birthday that his dad can't lie for 24 hours.
I wish that for only one day Dad couldn't tell a lie.
So as Jim Carrey is attempting to lie, notice he knocks everything off of the desk except for this notepad here, and there are some papers in the chair. So as he continues on with his quirky slapstick, you'll notice that the notepad is now missing, and the letters that were on the chair are gone as well.
The pen is blue. The pen is blue.
Staying in the same scene, Fletcher has realized that he has let his son down again.
Oh, I'm such a shit!
But he didn't do it intentionally this time, but that doesn't matter. He then calls Max and his mother on her car phone. And yes, for those of you who are pretty young, yeah, they did have corded car phones back in the day. So in the movie, Max's mom actually plays the most reliable parent, and responsible for that matter. But how responsible could she be when her child is not strapped in to his seatbelt? But not to worry, as the camera angle switches back and forth, we can now see that Max has took it upon himself to put on his seatbelt. But again, only to have it come right back off in the next scene. Pretty sad. Staying in the same scene, Fletcher's secretary is packing up and she's quitting. Because Fletcher hasn't been able to tell a lie, she's asked him a lot of questions that force him to tell the truth, and she didn't like the answers. From this angle, we can see that there is a single rubber band in front of the box that she's packing up. However, as the camera angle switches back and forth, we can now see that there are 4 rubber bands on the other side of that box. Where they came from, your guess is as good as mine. For this mistake, we are yet again in the same scene. Yes, we haven't moved on yet. Greta is still packing up and she grabs her ashtray. Is that an ashtray? Something? Whatever that is. But when we move the scene along just a little bit, right before Greta is getting ready to leave, you'll notice that the ashtray, or whatever that is back on the desk again.
God in heaven!
For this mistake, we take you to the courtroom scene. Now keep in mind, Fletcher's a lawyer, and he can't lie. He needs to win this case in order to win partnership in his law firm. Nervous that he can't tell a lie, he sloppily spills water onto his suit, as you can see here. Just a little bit. But just as he gets up, we get a wide shot of Fletcher in his suit. And I guess it must absorb moisture out of the air because that water spill got a lot bigger, somehow. Now the bathroom scene in this movie was not my favorite, was one of the more entertaining parts, but not my favorite by a long shot. So in the part where he smashes his head on the toilet seat, we can see here that there's sort of a cushion on the toilet seat to protect him from hurting his head. Do regular toilet seats have that cushion? Not in any that I've used. TMI. So the judge has called a recess from the big court case.
We'll take a short recess so that you can compose yourself, and then we'll get started.
When Fletcher steps outside, he gets a phone call from Max and he is very excited to hear from his son. The camera angle then switches over to Max's mom, who places a glass of milk into the sink. However, when the camera switches back over to Max, we'll pause it here and you can see that his mom has the glass in her hand again in the background, and she puts it back in the sink for a second time. Toward the end of the movie, Fletcher has won the big court case.
Jordan fades back, swoosh, and that's the game!
He then hustles to the airport to try to stop his son from leaving town. He steals one of those mobile ladders on wheels and rides right up to the plane to try to stop him. But you'll notice in one shot just in front of the plane, there is a second plane getting ready to take off. So as the plane that Max is on continues down the runway, we get a shot of the pilot's view, and we can see that the plane that was in front of theirs has vanished. So here we are at the very last scene of the movie, and Fletcher has managed to get back with his family. Don't you just love a happy ending? So make note that the candles on the cake are the only thing that's providing light in the room. So it makes sense that the light from the candles would cast a reflection or a shadow on the wall behind them. But what you'll notice is that the shadow from the mom is too far to the left. If anything, her shadow should be hitting the picture frame or the lampshade that is directly behind her. So what did you think of these amazing movie mistakes from Liar Liar? Let us know in the comment section below which one was your favorite. Also, don't forget to join the Movie Mistakes family by clicking the subscribe button and notification bell now. We'll keep you updated on all our up and coming videos. And we want to give a huge shout out once again to all of our super fans. Thanks for tuning in every week, and we'll see you next time.
No, just one more call.